What's up guys, welcome to another video. Just wanted to get this video in real quick here before the solar eclipse that happens tomorrow, August 21st, across the United States. Now if you are lucky enough to live in that path of especially the totalitarity, that is very cool. If you are not in that path, you know, you're going to get a little bit of an eclipse, but you know, there's going to be a lot of ways to record this, view it, all that kind of good stuff. And I wanted to go over a quick little process for time-lapsing the eclipse, okay? Now I'm not talking about pointing your camera up at the sun, because you're going to have some kind of solar lens for that, because otherwise you can damage your cameras, and they just probably won't even work anyway, because, you know, one, it's going to be super bright, and a lot of those regular lenses out there just don't offset pointing it at a bright beacon of light like that. So here are some options for getting a time lapse of the surrounding, like the ground level environment, and some viewing options, okay? So first off, foremost, hopefully you've already been able to get a pair of viewing glasses. If you wanted to look up at the actual eclipse, then this is the way to go. You know, and make sure that they say this ISO, so that means they're certified safe. If you don't have this ISO label on here, you know, more than likely you've got some non-safe eclipse glasses, and hopefully you don't have some counterfeits. Somebody just stamped that label on and said, yeah, they're ISO approved, so you're going to take a gamble. Probably not the best thing to look up at a sun anyway, even if it's an eclipse. So I myself will not be using these kind of glasses to look up at it, safety approved or not. It's just not a good practice, and you just don't want to do it. So what I'm going to opt for is actually doing a time lapse of the surrounding area, and I'm going to have a couple different cameras going to do a time lapse so I can see day become night in the middle of the day, and then back, you know, to day. So we're going to get two sunrises in one day, which is really cool. So the first option you're going to have is the GoPro. So you either have, like, this one's kind of an older one. This is like the GoPro Hero 3 Silver Edition, but there's, you know, a bunch of different GoPro editions out there, and you can use this to do a time lapse. Now, one thing is, this isn't weatherproof, so unless you have the one that is actually like weatherproof to a certain IPX resistance level, then you're going to want to put a weatherproof casing around it and put it up somewhere on a tripod or something where it's not going to get blown over. Make sure you've got this fully charged. Make sure you've got an SD card in it with enough space. Set it up setting-wise to where you're going to get a good time lapse of the eclipse. Okay, so that is your first option, is use a GoPro. Second option is something that I think is one of the best time-lapse cameras out there, and it's Brinno. And this guy here, this is the TLC for time-lapse camera 120, and this is actually weatherproof, so you can sit this out on a tripod. It's got a nice tripod mount right there, something that the GoPro does not unless you have an old adapter for it. So this one here you can basically set up to do a recording as well, and it's super simple with these. I mean, that's what they're made for. You put an SD card in here, make sure it's fully charged up, make sure the SD card actually has enough space on it, and then set this up on your settings. Now you can control this one with an app just like you can the GoPro, and then have this actually do your recording of the time lapse. And this has a lot of, I think you can get almost like 12, let me look, see how many hours you can get in a day. So this is the actual box this came in. HDR time-lapse video, so it creates high dynamic range, and then Wi-Fi, Bluetooth, instant sharing, 20 days battery life on a full charge. Outdoors is all-in-one waterproof design, so you don't have to put this in a case. And then it's available on the Apple and Google Play stores. So this is probably one of the better solutions out there, because it's just basically set it up, and it's IPX4. Set it up and let it do its job. This is what it's designed for, is just time-lapse. So it's time-lapse made easy, and it says it here, right here. Makes time-lapse easy. So if you want to be able to do that quick and easy, then this is the one to do it. You can also invest in this pan shoot base for it. This is also has a tripod mount here, and then it has a tripod mount on top as well. So you can actually mount your camera on this, program this to do some 360-degree rotations, even tilt, because it's pan and shoot, and it has some angles you can put into this, which is really a cool deal. Now also, if you didn't want to use a camera like that, this has actually got a phone, so I can pull this out, put my phone in this, and then do a time lapse with my phone. Now, of course, you're going to want your phone outside. You better make sure it's weatherproof and not going to get stolen or anything like that. And definitely don't point your phone at the sun. But this is a nice little option to do some more creativity with your time lapse filming. You can actually have this rotate on an interval at a certain speed and kind of get the whole 360-degree effect. Now, you probably won't get a whole lot during the eclipse. Yeah, you know, about 2.5 hours in duration when it starts to when it ends. So you might get a little bit, but that's kind of a cool feature if you wanted to do some panning and some angle shots with your phone or the Brinno camera, which will hook right onto that. Then another option, so you're going to need it to be somewhere. So the best thing is probably this Joby Gorillapod. This will allow you to mount your camera pretty much anywhere. You can wrap these legs around, you know, a tree, just about anything you want to wrap this up on. It will stand up fine. It's fairly heavy and sturdy, so it'd take a pretty good gust of wind or a pretty good bump to actually knock this over. As you can see here, and it has a level on the back, so you can definitely make sure that your shot is level and you're getting a nice angle on it. And then again, this would mount on this, so if you wanted to, this would be a 360-degree rotation on the Joby pod, and then, you know, you could just mount the camera on here like so, or, you know, with the GoPro accessory, you can also mount the GoPro on this and just have this outside, and this is not going to matter if it gets wet or anything. This is durable, made for rough conditions outdoors, and it's got a ball head on it, so it fits an SLR zoom and you know, pretty much any camera you want to put on it. But again, this is really just for the time-lapse factor that you want to use for the eclipse, because I want to see day turn into night and then back into day on the ground level, you know, and see how animals and things react and lights come on and all that, and then have that timestamp on there that says, hey, it's 1 o'clock in the afternoon. That's what I want, and that's what I'm going to go for. So anyway, guys, check the show notes. There are links down for all this. Obviously, you're not going to have enough time to go purchase this kind of stuff for the eclipse tomorrow, but if you have this kind of thing, and a lot of people have GoPros, and maybe you haven't even thought of using the GoPro to do a time lapse of the eclipse. So that's what I'm hoping for. If you've got some of the Brinnos, anything that you can do a time lapse with, now's the time. Charge it, get your SD cards formatted, cleaned off, and ready. Find your positioning where you want to do it right now while the sun is out, so you can kind of compare it to the same time tomorrow. So anyway, guys, check show notes if you want any of this stuff for future things. If you want to do some time-lapse videos or whatever, I'll have this out here. And if you like this video, give it a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel. And as always, guys, thank you for watching and have a good one.